Okay, so another great favourite appearing on the boards now. Actually, this guy's a bit unpredictable. I better just check he's there because you know what's going to happen here. Yes, he's ready. Okay. He used to be Richard Simmons, but he's rebranded himself as Dazzling Dickie Simmons, the comedian for tonight. Please welcome him to the stage.
Good evening, audience. How are we? You enjoying yourselves?
Yeah.
Good. I'll just explain one thing to you before we go any further. Dave Elborn, who's playing, what's he playing? What's his name?
Sydney.
To Sydney.
Clifford Back.
Clifford Back. He's not actually acting, he's just playing himself. That's how he is. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if you heard about this bloke, stood for election, got 25 million votes, doesn't even know how many kids he's got. Yeah, I'm not going to talk politics because I know you all voted for Nicola, but you know, it's okay. Anyway, I've been having a bit of trouble with the wife, as I usually do at this time of year during the concerts, and when I met her, I said she said, I don't believe in sex before marriage. I wish I'd asked her if she believed in sex after marriage. I always know when she's up because I can hear her scraping the toast. To be honest, the only reason she has an orgasm so she's got something else to moan about. I mean, I tried that internet dating, well I gave that up. They matched me up with the missus. Mind you, she was really flattered. They named her Rose after her. But she wasn't too happy when she looked in the catalogue and it said, not very good in bed, but great up against the wall. I knew her mother was coming round. The canary threw itself in the cat's mouth. We get a lot of those militant feminists these days, don't we? I take my hat off to them. They don't like that. I went to bed with this blind girl last night. She said, Richard, you've got the biggest what's it I've ever laid my hands on. I said, you're pulling my leg. Well, you don't appreciate a lot of stuff in school, do you? You know, little things like being spanked by a middle-aged woman. You know, things you pay good money for later in life. I went to the doctor the other day. He said, I've got some good news for you and some bad news. The good news is, you're not a hypochondriac. He said you've only... You've got extras here. We didn't know that at the rehearsal, did we? The doctor says you've only got 10 to live. I said, what, 10 days, 10 years, 10 months? He said, 9, 8, 7. An English, a Scotsman and an Irishman went into the pub. I forgot the punchline here. English and Scotsman and Irishman went into the pub. The barman said, what's this, some kind of joke? I mean, I remember that Beatles song like it was yesterday. Yeah. It's a funny old world though, isn't it? You know, somebody shoots John Lennon, but they let Des O'Connor live. My mate, he keeps drinking battery fluid. He says he's not addicted. He can stop whenever he likes. Come on.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the new film, Constipated? It hasn't come out yet. Did you hear about the ice cream man found lying on the floor of his ice cream van? It's covered in chocolate sauce and hundreds of thousands. Please say he topped himself. I went to see a psychic. She said, what's your name? I said, I want my money back. I knew deep down that scuba diving wasn't for me. A woman walked into the bar and asked for a double entendre, so the barman gave her one. My blinking neighbour was banging on the door at 3 o'clock this morning. Good job I was still up playing the drums. My mate had a terrible accident. He fell in an upholstery machine, but he's completely recovered. I like Christmas. I mean, you make a bit of money. I mean, I sold my homing pigeon 6 times on eBay. This is good, this one. Yeah, I've just been done for my part in the timeshare fraud. Fortunately, I've only got to serve 2 weeks a year. The Viagra pharmaceutical company is doing very well. They just had a record month. They did 2 million sales, so well done, lads. Keep it up. And finally, I'm just going to tell you a little story about. It was a beautiful day, and this very nice young lady, you know, stretches herself out on the park bench in the sun, bit of sunbathing. And this, you know, this old tramp comes along and he says, "Hey, you know, how about we get it together, love?" She said, "What kind of girl do you think I am? I'm not some cheap pickup." He said, "Well, you are already lying in my bed." And finally, why couldn't Joseph and Mary get in at the inn? Because it was Christmas. Thank you.
Oh, it's fantastic to have him along and on board, and who knows, he may turn up in his alter ego looking a bit like the great Simone, magician to frighten you and us later on in the show. That'll be towards the back end of the second half.